Meow, 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 meow. So I got a call yesterday. A pretty interesting call. I feel honored. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Like live or like pre-live?
Pre. Get all your bells and whistles. Also, Christmas is coming.
Bro, we're 10 weeks away from the new year.
Yeah.
Less than 10 weeks probably now, because when I said that was Monday. And now it's Thursday.
I think we should just have like daily shows, like the Daily Show.
I'm down.
And we just have a daily show and we just daily it. And then whatever happens, happens in that show.
Well, that's the second one that I wanted to have.
And then we can just have guests. And then if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. But I think we can have like
I wake up early enough, sir. And then what are you gonna do at the gym?
Wake up earlier.
No, I don't think you can do it.
I've done it before. 4:30.
I don't think you're capable of doing it.
You don't even know me.
I do. I've known you. Gotten to know you pretty well in this last, 3 months maybe now? Probably longer. Because this is episode 16.
Sure.
And we're live. Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode with Luis and Ray Living the Dream. We are here today with my three monkeys. Put some feedback on these three monkeys because Luis didn't approve of these guys. I think these guys are pretty awesome.
Live, love, laugh.
This
That's
guy,
the equivalent of that.
He's watching the wrong thing. This is Hear No Evil, or
You just heard that like 5 seconds ago.
no. I've known that you hear no evil, speak no evil, and see no evil.
Oh, so there's a deeper meaning behind monkey faces.
Of course. Well, because they use them, like that girl said, she has them in Chihuahuas.
What does that have to do with speak no evil, do no evil?
Because this thing's been around for like ages, where you don't speak evil, right? You don't do bad.
Does that include cursing?
Well, see, cursing to me is not a bad thing.
To you, but what does that actually mean?
In general, I think it's just an expression.
What does it mean?
It's just a way to express.
What does cursing mean?
Oof, cursing.
Right.
Like you're cursing someone. You're you're wishing, isn't that like bad upon them?
Right.
Oh. See, why you gotta get deep into it? Just the word.
You just started it.
So, hear no evil. No, this is the see no evil guy. Speak no evil, hear no evil.
Right. So, hear
nothing.
Hear no evil?
Yeah.
How would you, is that like filtering the stuff that you should be hearing, like music?
Correct. So putting yourself in situations where you're not going to hear things that you don't want to hear. Evil, bad. Things against what you believe, I would say. But like Theo said earlier, it's just hear nothing, speak nothing, see nothing.
All at the same time or individually?
All at the same time.
So you're just walking around.
Just deaf, blind, and mute. Is that the other one? Mute?
Yeah.
Well, I like my monkeys. So, I wish they would have been lions. You're right. Lions would have been cool. But I think lions are overrated. I think with like even me with my wolf here, I think I'm just very basic now. Like when I got it, I was like cool. But now I see wolves and lions and everybody, and I'm like that's so basic.
Right.
But to me, it means something.
What does it mean?
To me, it's lone wolf, right? So many people don't know what I've been through, but it was just like I see myself as a lone wolf, right? Or I used to. Now
you identify as a lone wolf?
I used to. And I think me being alone and going through what I've been through has put me to where I am now, right? As far as like I feel like that, all those bumps and bruises of being alone has made me like to like what Anthony said. Now you can put little wolves in Jimena, right? So now you used to be alone.
A little wolf pack.
Yeah, now we're a wolf pack, right? With me still being
the alpha.
How do you want to say it? The leader. Hey, it's funny that you say that because I was watching this thing. Oh, it was Andrew Tate.
Of course.
And he made this thing reference about not that he he tells his girlfriend or his wife what to do, and he has the last say so. But he put it in an aspect where if you're protecting your family, right, and your wife says at 11 p.m., "Hey, I'm gonna go for a jog," and you tell her no, right? You shouldn't go for a jog. Not that you're telling her what to do or you're putting that demand on her, like, no, I have said no, so you shall not do it. But it's more like because you are the leader of your family and the protector of your family, you analyze that it is dark outside. Maybe the lighting's not the best, so you make that position. But everybody else was saying, like, okay, so he tells his wife what to do, right? So,
Right. I think people take it to the extreme. Like in terms of what he's saying, they don't take the bigger aspect of what he's saying. Kind of like how Trump delivered his message. You know, the delivery wasn't the best, and that's where people kind of get triggered of like, oh, he said you can't do anything, so you shouldn't. You know, you should. He's telling you what to do, and you know, instead of like, oh, he's telling you what to do because he wants the best for you. Not that he wants the best for everybody, but in that certain situation, in that precise situation, like you shouldn't go out at night.
Right.
It's like anybody with common sense wouldn't go out, you know, in the hood, in the middle of the street.
Correct.
With like,
but what if you don't live in the hood? I think just overall, it's just
well, there's people out there that live in nice neighborhoods that go out and runs at middle of the night.
maybe a gated community.
Maybe. I mean, I've seen it all over the city.
I think just in
you know,
general.
like if you're going down the waterway, you know, there's a lot of people running at night, or in Montrose or in Midtown. When I lived there, like there's people, you know, but there's areas that you're not gonna go into.
Correct.
Like under a bridge, like or under underpasses, like in the Heights. Before you go into downtown, from the Heights to downtown, there's like an area where it's just super lonely and super sketch.
And you don't go through it.
I mean,
But
not
again,
at night.
but you make that decision, man or woman, just based on common
Instinct,
sense,
yeah.
instinct, common sense. So I think, like when I heard that, when I heard that say that, kind of like right now when you said alpha, I think it comes to a position like we talked 2 weeks ago with Danny, where when you're the protector, right? Is that what is a man's role? What would you say are like top 3 man's role in?
So biblically speaking, you're the head of the house. You're the head of the household. Meaning, what does the head do in a body? Right, makes the decisions, makes the overall decisions of your house should be filtered through you. It shouldn't come down from you, but you know, together you make the decisions. But you know, it should be filtered.
Right.
Yeah, biblically speaking, that's how it is.
So that's the one, and that includes what, like overall everything, right? Finances or like.
Right.
I like how you said biblically, but what about put it in today's term, like you're telling a 10-year-old? How would you explain that to him? Or her? Or them? That's such...
So how would you explain it non-biblically to a...
Well, maybe not non-biblically, but if you want to... I mean, sometimes you want to, like, I don't want to say dumb it down, but, like, bring it down where it's just, like, what does the head do? Well, I don't know. If you're 8 years old, I don't know. Want to watch TV and play cartoons all day. But how would you tell your 8-year-old son, hey, as the leader of the household, this is my job and this is what I do?
Well, it comes down to responsibility, right? Like, because you're responsible for all these things, therefore you have the responsibility to also make the decisions. So a lot of men don't want to do those decisions. They're like, oh, just you decide, you do it, because they don't want that burden on them. Correct. So a lot of people think, oh, you get to decide what we're doing. Like you get to decide, like you have the privilege, instead of like it's a burden. Right. Like it being the president is not a privilege; it's a huge burden.
Correct.
So with leadership comes responsibility and comes all that burden. Even in the animal kingdom, like the alpha, like, you know, not saying that we're the same as them, but there's a lot of similarities in terms of like having the alpha pack and the wolf pack and family and community. You know, we see it where leadership in leadership, they have some relationship between.
Right.
It's like you don't want to be the alpha. Like that's the person everyone's going to try to kill.
Correct.
That's a huge burden. You know, no one's going after the betas.
No.
So it's not really a privilege to be there.
I think
even though it is, but
I was gonna say I think
it
it might
with
be.
Its downsides.
Yeah, it's a privilege, I think, but I mean, the down part is that right? If you make the wrong decision, then you have to live by that, or like it's on you, it's on your head, it was your fault, it's on you. So I think basing it back to the concept of like marriage and stuff, real quick, I think the the basis thing is just because we are the male figure. Not that a female can't be. Well, no, a female cannot be a male figure. Sorry, I reworded that wrong. But what I'm trying to say, I guess I'm confusing my thought. But what I'm trying to say is pretty much we've been through so much, and we have a good understanding of how to protect our family, how to look over our family, how to provide for our family. So our decisions are based on that, not based on I'm better than you, so this is what we're gonna do, but based on I might have a better understanding that it's dangerous where we're at, so you shouldn't do this. Not because I'm your boss, I'm telling you, but because it's my job to protect you and keep you safe. Is why I'm telling you not to do certain things.
Right. And
I think, like, to me, real quick, before I lose it, is, and to me, it's like the vice versa with my wife, right? Where with Jimena, it's like certain things, like, hey, we're gonna buy this, and this to cook. Like, okay, cool. Like that's your understanding. Hey, we need this to take care of the kids or certain things, right? Because she's more the caring. Like, it's in her to be more caring, so I don't question some of that stuff, right?
And some of those roles are reversed in some couples.
Right.
Like sometimes those roles are reversed, where the female's not the provider, but sometimes financially more of the provider, but the protection, and some of those aspects in the leadership, it's more of a male role.
Correct.
More of a masculine role.
Correct. Not that a woman can't do that.
Right. Because they can.
Yeah, because there's some women that.
But also, like, some of those roles might reverse, like the caregiving. But in a general sense, like that's the natural order of things, right? It's like male provides, female caregives.
And the roles
females bear children, the men go to work, they go to war, the traditional patriarch roles.
Correct.
And society wants to get away from that. And there's a huge agenda for that, and I mean that's arguable.
Right.
Arguable in terms of it's right or if it's wrong. I think we're headed in a good direction in terms of society, like with our freedoms and everything that we have, and equality, and 100 years ago, we didn't have the rights that we have now.
Correct.
But I think a lot of the roles that have been established for thousands of years and traditions, there's a lot of value in those, there's a lot of value in those that shouldn't be thrown away just because we're moving towards this more progressive era, because, we've seen the consequences of those movements for sure.
Right.
And I think, speaking about roles, I was at the zoo this weekend. I went to the zoo.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
And
appreciate that.
I don't know if there was an agenda in the zoo as well, because it's very liberal, like the whole Houston, everything, like even the zoo, everything. So even the animals would say all the details that are more interesting, like about the animals, it would say after a month the father would take care of the baby. Like, that's interesting, right? It's interesting, but why is it in every animal across all the zoo, like speaking about the gender roles instead of other things about the animals that are not more interesting, but would also be interesting,
right?
Instead of just the gender roles that these animals
take or have.
I mean, that was just an interesting observation that I had. I was like, okay, that monkey, the mom bears the child, and then the father comes in, say a month A month after, it said and would help care for the ape,
Right.
for the other monkey, for the monkey.
These guys.
These guys. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I would go to the next one and it's the same thing, and then the same thing, and then it's like,
So I guess it's putting it more into perspective. I guess what you're saying is it could skip that line and just share information of broad.
right. But it was only one sentence, and that was the only sentence of like almost all the animals, you know. So it's interesting. Like,
Right.
yeah, that's the it's the way nature does it, right? But is there a different agenda? Like maybe there's like, oh, we're gonna try to put that out in the animal kingdom, and then
Hopefully people
will think,
catch on or
people will think, oh, then that's what we should do that's the natural
home.
order of things.
right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just an idea. Like why have it in every animal where there's like hundreds of animals, and the ones that have the parental roles in animal kingdom, like why put that, you know? That's
Very interesting. But I think it's interesting how they just slide things in there,
right?
and then if you don't notice it, you just start like anything and everything they do is
Right.
just like
even
slid in there.
even in, I mean, cartoons today. I mean, when we were growing up, they would throw a lot of what's it called, like hitting symbols, you know, into Disney, right?
Mhm.
And then you watch it now, and you're like,
You're like,
what the
hell?
heck?
Yeah.
But now it's like more obvious, right? Like
Yeah.
they have like lesbians kissing on not are they kissing? Yeah, kissing on Buzz Lightyear. They have certain gay couples on some other
Shows.
shows. I think
Episodes.
Super Pets.
I didn't watch that one yet.
Yeah, there was like
I
a
saw
gay
Buzz
couple.
Lightyear, and that threw me off for a loop a little bit, just because it was I was not expecting
Right.
that at all.
Right, and it seems like it's on every single movie, every single show.
But do you feel like they have to do that?
They don't have to do it. It doesn't
Because then they'll get canceled. Then
if they don't do it.
Yeah, then it'll be like, hey,
Well-
why didn't Buzz Lightyear have anything to represent?
Right.
Me speaking in other terms, like something that represents who I am. I'm lesbian, and why was there nothing that represents me? There's a
Right.
man and a woman, and they had a kid, and everybody
Right.
else looks.
I think if it's part of, like I said, as a movie, as a creative, as a storyteller, if it's part of the movie, it's okay,
Right.
Like if it's part of a
If it-
movie and it's based on, you know, not real life, but if it's based on like the storyline,
Right.
and if it adds more interest and if it adds more supporting, but just to throw it in there because
Just to throw it.
kind of like the Avengers when they had that moment where all the girls got together and then they charged. It's like, oh, she's not alone. She's
Okay.
got us.
Yeah. And they all,
That was like the most cringe moment of the whole thing because it doesn't go with the flow, right?
Correct.
If she,
But like, again, I think it's just they have to. I
right,
think,
they have to because they have to cater to their political
or they're gonna
audience.
lose, or they're gonna lose
They're
those
gonna lose-
views.
yeah.
They're gonna lose those.
Yeah, but on Rotten Tomatoes and a lot of these critics, you know, websites,
Right.
like they'll have like the Rotten Tomatoes critics rated a 98%, and then the audience rated a 30%,
Right.
because the audience knows that it was a crappy movie based on their choices of doing that.
Correct.
But the critics are also sold out, and they say, "Oh, it's 99% because it hit all the agenda
Right.
points."
Right. Whatever they used to criticize, did it hit all these roles? And I think part of that was, and I think I was listening to a podcast a while back, and it said, staying neutral is almost a little bit better because this whole agenda role thing is going to probably start dying off. So a lot of businesses that started like switching, right? Like, we're going to make it more whatever friendly, thinking like, okay, I'm going to make these people happy, overall end up losing the traditional, how would you say?
Conservative.
Yeah, the conservative people, where it starts backfiring and then they switch it like, okay, let's just stay neutral.
Yeah.
Like me, the way I run my business is I'm neutral, right? People come in and they talk to me and I'm like, all right, I get you. Cool. And then the opposite person will come in and talk about it. Oh, okay, cool. Right. I don't sit there and go back and forth. One, right? Because I feel like it's to me it's really hard for you to change someone's mind, right? Like if that's their belief, unless in a conversation you're not gonna do it. It's gonna be very hard unless you sit there and you really have the time to go into depth and cover it. But I would have people back when the elections were going on, 2 3 years back. Well, 2 years back now. Yeah, because we're midterms. They'd be like, oh, so and so, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's crazy, cool, yeah. And then like the other guy would come in, oh man, I hate this guy. I'm like, no, yeah, cool, it's crazy, man, yeah, I know, and I prefer that neutral side than trying to sit there and go back and forth because, then I don't have to fight with nobody. One, and then I'm not catering to one or the other, right?
Right.
When now
But what about businesses that go 100% conservative or 100% liberal?
I mean, they're able to do that, and you can do that, right? But I think it's just
Because there's enough audience for that market.
correct, and I think it's just who you are. I mean, I'm still very conservative as far as most of the things, right? But for instance, I do have a lesbian employee. She's a manager of one of the stores, and she
your whole
just
product is cannabis, which is more of a liberal
correct.
product.
But oh yeah, and she's getting engaged, and I'm cool with that, and I respect her and what they do, right? And I don't push my values on her or like try to change her
Right.
opinion. But I feel like I don't know. I got lost right there real quick.
No, I think you're coming from a that's a strategy, right? Like to be in a moderate position, that would be the best position to be in terms of a business owner because you won't lose certain audience if you go left or if you go right. And I think movies should be that way because they should be catering to everybody, right? Like I really enjoy what Disney's doing with some of the movies, like Coco, what they did with like Mexican culture and Dia de los Muertos, and what's the other movie? Encanto, and some of these movies that are racially diverse, culturally diverse, that I'm down with.
Right.
And they should keep it. They should keep expanding on those things.
Correct.
And if a story is about these gender roles, then it should be about that.
Correct.
There's nothing wrong with that. But to throw it in there, to slide it in there,
correct,
that's where I think...
Like the Buzz Lightyear one.
Right.
It didn't help. It didn't change the plot.
Storyline.
It didn't. It was just...
And it would be the same with conservative Christian values. Like if I were to see... let's say you're watching a movie about, gays, right? Or, male relationship. Everything's, the whole movie's awesome. The whole storyline's great. And then a lot of Christian values are thrown in the middle of it.
Right.
Everybody, what does this have to do with anything? Right. So it's kind of the same way where, these movies aren't Christian, but they are based on just traditional storytelling, right? Correct. Which is like you have the hero's journey, and then this hero is going on a journey, failing, redemption, and then it has family values in there. But then they throw in some like a curveball, some random thing out of nowhere.
Right. And I think that's only been a few years back because I don't watch many movies nowadays. Probably like 2-3 years back, as much as I used to when I was not doing anything and just going to the movies. But I think I did notice a difference because like when you said Christian movies, like there's one that I really like, God's Not Dead.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, so like that one, it stayed with that concept throughout the whole thing. In the middle, there wasn't just this random, gender thing or any different. It just stayed with that role. Yeah. And then P.S. I Love You. Oh wait, that's random. That's a whole different one. But anyways, so talking about life hacks. Is this a life hack?
No.
It's a life hack as a business. It's a life hack.
It's a life hack when you got to stay moderate because, or if you choose, it depends what you want to do and who you are because you don't want to stand for nothing because you'll fall for anything, right? That's also a big thing. Like you should stand with your beliefs, and that's something that I'm learning as society pushes on their beliefs.
Correct.
You know, like society's going to push their beliefs on you, and they're going to try to mold you to whatever they think is the most ethical, you know. And when are you going to let them and say, oh no, that's enough, right? When is that? There's got to be a line that you have to you have to stop.
Correct.
Based on what you believe, and what you believe is not right or wrong. Like, it's right for you, right? Like, everybody's different. There's certain beliefs out there. For me, it's a lot of the Christian beliefs that I was raised with, and that I formed myself through going to church, understanding the Bible, understanding from my pastors, understanding from, you know, society itself. And then society's going to push all their values on you. And when are you going to say no, right? When are you going to say, no, that's enough?
That's too much. Yep.
Right. There has to be a line. You have to speak up, right?
Correct.
The same way I was talking to my friend Jesse. He was like, we're free.
He's my friend too.
We're free because we put limits on the government, not because the government makes us free. Like, the Constitution was there to give us our freedoms and for us to defend those freedoms. Correct. From tyranny, from the government, from a government like Britain, the monarch. So whenever America came together, you know, they were like, we're going to put this Constitution in order. Right. So anybody that's coming into power doesn't take away power from the people.
Right.
And it's the same way right now. Like, as a family, you know, how much are you going to let society take from you, from your kids, from your finances, from your beliefs?
That's the same thing, I guess, having those core values and ideas, and like, hey, this is what we're sticking to. Everything else is okay. We can accept it, whatever. But this is the main thing.
Right. And that goes to gender roles as well. Like, society's going to tell you, oh, no, you as a man shouldn't be the leader. You as a man should be this, should be that. You shouldn't have these roles. Say, no, you can do whatever you want. Right. I'm going to, like the Bible says, like, as for me and my house, we're going to follow, you know, Christ. Or we're going to, I don't know the whole verse, but it's like, as for me and my house, we're going to follow these beliefs.
Right. And stick to them.
Yeah, because if not, like, society's going to push all their stuff on you. And who are they to tell you what's right and what's wrong?
I agree 100%. And I think that's part of the stuff that I've been watching lately. Well, I guess everybody's been watching because it's all over the place. But I think that's the biggest thing where I can accept what you do without having to agree or abide by it, right? So, like, calling you certain things or doing certain things, like, you can do it over there, right? So you step into my store, and whatever you do outside of that store, that's your responsibility. That's on you. But when you're in there, we're neutral. It's neutral transaction. Hey, what's up? And then you step away, and then you do your own thing, right? So you're not gonna come in and tell me what to call you. I guess that's the biggest thing right now, or what to accept. And those are things I kind of cover with my kids. And I've been covering it more recently. You know, where I've told both of them, you know, if you're gay or if you're lesbian, it's okay. Like, that's okay, but it's too soon. For, you know, I'm like, experiment, like, have fun. Like, you're too young to be thinking about that stuff, right? Like, and I'm like, I don't care. And you guys, you know, as kids, especially Anthony playing football, you know, the kids start playing those where you played sports, you know, making fun of each other, gay jokes, this and that, right? But I think, like, now with everything that's going on, people are more sensitive and more feelings. Like, they get, like, everybody tells me I'm gay, so I must be gay, and now I'm gay.
Yeah, I think me and
we're just
Jesse
softer
and
as a nation.
Giovanni, we went on a hike and we talked a lot about issues of society, and we talked about how people don't just change to be gay. Like, I think we all understood that it comes from just that the you know, there's like, are you born gay or are you turn gay?
Right.
That's like a whole
No,
argument.
right. It used to be. Now you can pick and choose.
Right. And I think we sort of, I don't know if we all agreed I was really tired. We went on a 9-mile hike and we almost passed out.
Nice.
But we were like, okay, is it nurture? Is it nature? And it was like, we know from experience, from our experience, from everybody that we've been through, like you knew who was.
Correct.
You knew who was.
Yes.
And you never knew somebody that turned.
Right. Right.
From our experience, that's what we've all known.
Correct.
So that's just from my experience. I can't speak about everybody, but like I've never known somebody that
turned
was like 8, 9, and you knew they were, and then or somebody that was 8, 9, you knew they were straight, and then at 13, 14 they were different.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. I think it happens a lot of times, at least before it would happen after some trauma, where they would be like, but that's just, I think, experimenting. Like,
what?
I mean,
that. Because I don't think it has to do with trauma. Because you're victimizing them.
Well, I think, yeah, I guess right. I think what I'm trying to say is just like, right. So, I had a handful of people who were like, well, guys have been mean to me and broke my heart, so I must belong to women, and now I'm gonna start dating women.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I know that. I know. I've also, in my experience, like in terms of like what I've seen, that there is a movement of like a lot of females.
What is a female? A woman.
A woman with a vagina.
There you go. Simple.
That they've been like letting go of like, oh, I'm gonna start dating girls now because just dudes are just
right
complicated, or they're too weak, or they're pathetic, or whatever it is, you know. And I think that's the problem. But I have seen that, but I've never seen like how we talked about, like, you know, elementary school, you're going and you're like, oh, I see that, you know, that dude's, you know,
more than likely,
and then you
grow up in high school and then you're like, oh, it's cool, yeah, dude. We knew,
everybody knew, but you never saw somebody that you didn't think, and then it's like all of a sudden they are
right. And I think that's the difference was, you knew and you had an idea and you're okay with it, and no one now it's like, I feel like now it's like you're okay with it, but you have to 100% accept it, and you like, I mean, before we accept it, but maybe just because we didn't talk about it as much before, and it was cool. Like, I didn't talk to anybody else different. Like, I talked to I don't know if I'm gonna get canceled, but you know, I talked to the emos, I talked to the Hispanics, I talked to the football players, I talked to the soccer players. You know, like, it was like there was no issues as far as like now when I talk to my younger sister that's in high school. One of them just graduated, the other one's in high school still, and like a lot of things that she tells me, I'm like, you guys are just a lot of stuff that they're worried about, like
I think it's the pressure that society puts on you.
Correct.
Like before, like you would see that and you were like, okay, like they're doing their thing, they're doing their life the same way I'm doing my thing, and I'm doing this. And then you have all the, you know, football players over there doing their thing, and you have like the Hispanics trying to blend in, and then that's funny.
Why is that funny?
It's just funny. It's like, bro, you know,
right.
Yeah, but I think that's even normal too, because you should be assimilating into the culture that you are growing into, right? Like, we're here in America, like as Hispanics, we should be being part of everything. We shouldn't just say, oh, those football, that's for Americans, or for people that are born here, you know. Like, we should be like, okay, let's see what that's about.
Correct. And I think that's just the whole concept of growing up. I think from when you're born to maybe about 25, like, to me that whole age group is like you still figuring it out, and and like I feel like now it's like, from when my sister talks to me just random, and it's just like she has to pick. Like, what are you? You know, like, you know, what, like, who are you hanging out with? What are you, based on social media, based on all these other things that are out there? And there's just a lot of pressure. And then I think
we had that too. Like, we had that in school, where you had like these divisions of, like, we had the emos, and then this, and you didn't have to pick, but you felt the pressure of going towards one.
Correct.
one
But
clique.
I feel like that just came to you. Like, you know what? Like, I hang out, like, I blend better with the emos. And you would see the random Hispanic guy there. And it's like, it's cool, bro. Like, you know, like, now it's like, I don't know. It's just a lot of things that you tell them, like, man, you guys are in high school. Like, you should be enjoying yourself. Why is there so much stress? Why is there so much,
Well, stress.
like, trying to
Life,
fit in?
high school is stressful because you are trying to, um, like those are the ages where you're trying to understand your identity, like who you are in society, like who you are, and if you don't have a strong identity from your family and from that, like you're gonna be all over the place.
Correct.
There's studies shown that like kids without fathers in their homes lack that identity, lack that, like who am I?
Right.
You know, they're always trying to get attention from, especially like some of the girls, like try to get attention from the boys, try to get, like they
want to get accepted.
they just want that attention.
Right.
And then there's the girls that have fathers that are strong in their identity, that they don't even bother wanting that attention because they have that affirmation.
Correct. But what do you do? I mean, your dad left. What is it, Dad?
That's hard.
That is. I mean,
and I don't think it's their fault. I don't think it's like we're not blaming them. It's just like an understanding of how things are.
Correct.
And it's like, okay, what can we do? We can teach our sons to be good fathers and to be good men, and to know that with being a man comes responsibility, and you can't run away from that.
Right.
Because then you go and you get this girl pregnant and you run away because you're scared, or you cheat on a bunch of girls because you're scared of commitment, or you are with this girl for like 8 years and you don't propose because you're scared.
Right.
I
think it's and that stuff I think is learned, but I think a lot of times I would say we want to fall in that thing where, well, this is what it is and this is how it's gonna be. So I didn't have a father. So if I, as I'm thinking, or let me talk as a man, I didn't have a father. So if I'm not there for him as a father, he'll be fine. Look at me, I'm alive, I'm kicking. Instead of switching that mentality, right? And for instance, my mentality has always been, because I didn't have a father, I didn't want my son to feel that, or my daughter to feel what it was like to not have one.
Right.
So, but I think it just comes to being able to switch your mindset. And like I said a few days ago, I've learned recently that not everybody thinks the same, right? And I used to be like, with anxiety or depression or the way people think, I'm like, bro, just change your mind. They're like, what do you mean change my mind? Like, bro, like it's so easy. Just switch it. Like, don't, instead of feeding into it, get away from it. And then Jimena's done a good job of telling me, like, Ray, not everybody's like you. Not everybody's positive. Not everybody thinks that way. I'm like, but it's not that hard. And then even Andrew Tate, going back to my homie, he brought that up where they asked him that he's supposed, I mean, once I heard it, he didn't say that, but he was like, well, you mentioned that depression and anxiety is not real and it's all fake. He's like, no, I didn't say that. I said that you can get away from it. You can physically and mentally guide yourself out of that situation. It's not easy, right? For me, I don't think it was easy getting into this mentality, but I think the main thing is just not sitting there and crying and bitching about what you've been through and what life is.
It's really hard. It is really hard because, I mean, I think we've gone through that, and then that's why we can speak from it, because we've gone through the complaining phase. We've gone through all the errors equal bad stuff happens to your life. Like all the errors and mistakes that you did,
Karma.
I mean, I wouldn't say karma. It's just like the natural order of things, right? Do wrong, say wrong, hear wrong, listen wrong. Things are going to go wrong.
Exactly.
Right? And then you can learn from all the things that you did wrong and use them for positive as well. Like you can say, okay, don't do this, like, kids, don't do that, right?
Use a fork and put it in the outlet. How many times does that take you to learn? Once. And I think, so real quick, just bringing that thing. And I think that's one thing I would do with Anthony and Alexis, right? When they would do something, something, no. I'm like, let them watch. Boom, sale el golpe. Okay, I bet she's not gonna do it again, right? But I think we get in this phase, or people get in this phase where oh, it happened to me. It must have happened. I deserved it. It was supposed to happen to me. I'm supposed to be down here. I'm supposed to be low life. I'm supposed to, like, my parents didn't have much, so I'm not gonna have much. It's like, and I've learned, in the more things I've listened to just over the years, to me it just seems so easy to switch. For instance, what I'm doing now, right, with this meat diet thing. I hate saying diet. I feel like,
so diet is just the way that you eat. Everybody has a diet.
but diet just, I think, brings the
it brings the wrong connotation, like it
Correct.
brings the wrong ideas.
Right, but
so you can say carnivore plan, right? Or carnivore meal plan.
Oh yeah, so I'm on this carnivore meal plan, and it's like I've said, like, it's so easy to switch, and you guys have told me, then why do you eat the way you eat, and why do you do? But that's my decision, right? And like, now that I'm deciding to only eat meat, I can do it.
Right.
And I proved it throughout life with just things that I do. But even when the caffeine, would I do that like a week and a half, no caffeine? No, it was like 9 days, right? And it was like my head was throbbing, like my head was hurting, like, and not really because I drink a lot of coffee, but I eat a lot of caffeine based things, whether it's from beans or from coffee beans or green leaf or whatever. But I think the main thing was, like, I was able to break through that. And once it was like the third day of headaches, then I was like, all right, look, I'm good, right? But I think a lot of people can't.
Yeah. So I think a good thing to do is to challenge your body, right? To challenge your body, challenge your body in what it thinks that it has control over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your body thinks it has control. When I say your body, I mean yourself, right? It's all you.
It's all mental.
No, it's all you. Like, it's all you. Your body, and your mind, everything is one whole. Like, whenever your body or your self-conscious thinks that it has control over you lost me. No, whenever it has control, like, you think, oh, I'm having this plan, like I have this food, and like I'm enjoying it, and like life is good. Challenge it, right? Challenge it. Change diet. Change meal plan. Change this. Or, oh, you're exercising, and you think, oh, it's good. Challenge it. Do something harder. Do something different.
Right.
You're reading something. You're watching something, and it's like, oh, this stuff's easy to consume. Change it up, right? Read a different book, harder book.
Right.
Because there's going to come a time in life where you're going to get older. We're all going to get older. And my friend Jesse, we talk a lot. Your friend Jesse, too. We talk a lot about everything.
Right.
And he noticed that older people come to his store and say, how do I create a new password? Or, I can't think of a new password. It's just so hard.
Right.
Because you've been doing the same things over and over and over again. Any new type of information, you trip, and your whole world just falls apart because of the new information. So one thing that I always think about is, like, what thoughts are you thinking about that are repetitive? Like, what are you, like, in some stuff you can't even get through? Like, you've been on the same past trauma, which is hard, right, to get, but like, you've been on the same thing every day. Like, you're 38, 34, you still can't lose weight, or like, which is the simplest thing to do in terms of, like, the thing that you have the most choice over. Right. You haven't read a book, right? You haven't stopped doing something, like, you're still on the same circular.
Your bank account's still low, like,
right, like, you're still, because your thoughts are still repetitive,
right?
Like, your same outcome, the same outcome keeps coming because you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. So always think about, like, what is it that you're repeating over and over again? Like, for me, it's like waking up at the same time. It's like, oh, and I want better results, but I keep waking up at the same time.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I want better results, but I'm not putting in the effort for a certain business, right?
Right.
Just like, what are you doing? Oh, you're having the same work schedule. You're having the same thing, like what have you done different? Like
To
things are
get the
not gonna.
different
Yeah.
results, right? It's kind of like what I still like what Zach said last time when his wife asked him, "Do I look fat?" And he didn't say yes or no. He was like, "Well, what have you been eating? How have you been eating?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of saying like, "No, you're good," lying to her, and then she keeps eating the way she's eating, or saying yes and pissing her off, right? So it was like, asking those questions. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And stop. My biggest thing lately is just stop. Well, it's always been just stop
Complaining.
complaining.
Yeah.
Like it's so annoying and it's hard and even with me and Jimena we'll go over it back and forth on certain things, business or whatever it might be, and it's like, like, why are people complaining? Like, why are they still stuck in that circle and expect different results, right? You keep doing the same thing, expect different results. But I think, and like I said yesterday, it was like, unless people want it, they're not going to do it.
Right.
And that's one thing I learned many years ago when I would purposely try to help people start a little business or like try to like push them into doing other things. And no matter what, I learned that I was wasting my time. I wasted a lot of time trying to like change, quote unquote, a lot of people or help them change. And then little by little, that after a while they'd be like, "Hey, so everything you said a few months ago, I've been doing it now, bro. It's pretty cool." Like, yeah, fool, I've been telling you, you bozo, But I think that's the biggest thing is showing people that it's really just in you. Like, siento que la gente just doesn't think that they really have it in them based on what they've gone through. Like, there's no way I'm gonna have that. There's no way I'm gonna have that
Right, and
car that
those are called limiting beliefs.
kind of that thing we did yesterday,
Mm,
that video y'all seen yesterday.
I don't know, but it's like the things that you tell yourself that are limiting you, right? So it's like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. It's like those limiting beliefs. Try it. If you fail, you'll learn and do it. And then next time you'll be like, okay, I learned this. And then you keep trying and then you keep trying and then you keep trying. And then
Right.
after 9,000 times, you'll figure it out.
Right.
But
Well, it was based on real quick when I brought up that video where, excuse me, that teacher did that test where she gave half the class easy number one and number two answers, and then the other ones were hard. And she asked them, "Why? What'd you think on the third one?" They're like, "Well, I was already beat. I was already
right, they were already beat down by. But I think that's a group study.
Pero es lo mismo because what you see on Instagram.
Yeah, let's put it in perspective so people understand. So there's a study in a classroom, a psychology classroom, that gave a group of students 3 questions to answer. The first answer was to make a different word out of the word that they have, and one of them was so because it was like
easy
tab, something were easy that you could do, and then the second one was a little bit more complicated, but you could do it.
Right.
And then on the other group, they gave it where it was impossible.
Right.
It's not possible to make another word from the word that they gave them. The second word, the same. You couldn't make a word from the second word. The third word, they gave them the same word. And then this group, the one on the right, all of them got it right.
Right.
And then on the one on the left, none of them got it right.
And they had to raise their hand. They had to raise their hand
for the first answer. All the right side raised their hand. Second answer, all the right raised their hand. None of the left raised their hand. On the third answer, they got the same. They got the same question with the same answer. All the one on the right raised their hand. None of the people on the left raised their hand. What that study shows is that people looked at their competitors and said, "Oh, they're better.
Yeah,
they're smarter.
Why am I
at the third answer? Why am I gonna even try?"
Right.
So they didn't even try to do it based on their environment, right? So that's a really nice study to see, like, how are you comparing yourself to others based on their success, which you shouldn't. Like, you should be looking at your own troubles and seeing what answer you have independently from other people.
Right. And I think, like I said, social media is the biggest thing, I think, because of that, because everybody sees that. Everybody sees, Johnny's over there. We went to the same school. We did the same thing. And look at how he's doing. Now I'm definitely not going to make it nowhere.
Right.
And that's the comparison thing that that what I say last time, comparison is the thief of
joy,
joy.
something like that, happiness. Yeah. But I think you could use comparison as a positive thing too. Like you can say like, how are you making money? How are you doing things? How are you
If
getting
you're
better?
wired that way,
Right, because that's how you see mentors and
Right.
inspiration.
right?
And like you see the dedication and you see the motivation and you're like, oh wow, so are you telling me that I just have to put in 2 hours a day for 10 years at the gym to be like you? I'm all in, right? Instead of you have to put in 2 hours a day for 10 years.
Again, mentality.
Dude, bro, I'm good.
done.
I'm
yeah,
good.
I'm good. I got other things to do.
I got
I
yeah.
gotta watch sports.
I gotta watch sports
Like
and see
yesterday,
who wins.
they told me, or 2 days ago, like, you watch the Astros game? I was like, nah, I think they won. No. Where you been, man? You been hiding under a rock? I was like, why? Like, you didn't watch the game? It was late. We stayed up late till I was like, nah, bro.
Stayed up
like,
late drinking beers,
Yeah.
hot dogs, and
Which
burgers.
is not bad.
It's bad. No, I'm saying
Oof.
right now, it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
To drink beers and eat hot dogs. Hot dogs are not part of my meat diet. I was this close to like buying hot dogs. I was
No,
like, man, that's easy.
That's not bad, but like the lifestyle of fanaticism is can be detrimental
I haven't heard that word in a long, long time.
because you hop on this bandwagon, you could say, and you feed off other people's success, and you think that you're identify as that, and you're like, that team's successful, therefore I'm successful.
Oof.
And then you have your shirt, you have your full
Now you spend some money.
room full of
built.
everything, and then you identify as that,
And now you can show that to your other friends. Like,
right? But what have you done to be successful? And then success, could be whatever, but
right.
but I'm talking about like, what have you contribute? But in the big picture, fans do contribute to the team, right?
Right.
And it takes all the loyal fans for that team to be like,
Like Seattle, the Seattle guys, they would call the 12th man. There's 11 football
Right.
players, and
and they need
that
need that in terms of like,
height.
but like you individually, like, do you understand that there's a balance? Like, yeah, you can be a fan, but how deep are you going to be a fan, right? Are you going to sacrifice
everything,
everything
literally,
for it?
your health, your finances, your
Marriage,
yeah.
your
Yeah.
kids, instead of going with them, you watch the game.
Hey, whoa, feel attacked. Nah, but yeah. So I'm limited. So a lot of times people be like, "Man, you been watching football? You don't know?" I was like, "Nah." I watch it. I watch a few games here and there, but I'm not like full deep. Why not, bro? This happened, and they traded, and this guy got this much money, bro. That I'm like, that doesn't help me. That doesn't give
Right.
me. That doesn't help me in any kind of form, shape.
There's this practice that if it doesn't help you, throw it away. Like, if it doesn't help you in your life, throw it away. Like, even ideas. Like, does this idea help me? No. Get rid of it. Does this idea help in terms of, like, what you're doing?
No,
Yeah.
throw it away.
So, yeah.
Oh, keep it.
If it helps you, then keep it.
Keep
If it
it.
doesn't, throw it away.
Throw it away. I like that. That's a good way to put it. I'm gonna have to start. I don't know.
That's pretty simple.
Very simple, but hard. I think people don't want to go through hard things.
Right.
They've already gone
suffer
through
in
hard life.
comfort, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh
We
yeah,
told that?
that's right. That's how we are. Well, I've learned a lot today.
You said that.
I've learned a lot, and I'm gonna continue to push that agenda on people. My agenda. If
Your agenda?
if people can push their agenda on me, I'm gonna push my agenda on people. And my agenda is simple.
Don't complain.
Stop
Let me-
bitching.
I'm gonna put it down and see if I get it right. Don't complain. Hustle. Don't complain.
And don't complain. Like, to me, it's don't complain and just get your shit done. That's it.
That's it.
Just like whatever it is, like I used to be the guy too that was like, bro, what? Why are you working a normal job? No, you stupid. You gotta side hustles and you gotta do your own thing. And I've realized, right, as I've grown, that's another thing. People need to grow. Some people we'll get back into that. But I think I've learned
People
that,
are
like,
stuck in their teenage years.
right. So I think, and then I've learned, like, no, we still need the doctors, we still need the people at McDonald's, we still need, this. But I think it's a life cycle that you go through, right? Like, you're in a McDonald's fast food restaurant place, so you're like in your 20s, or early, like 20, and then you get another job, and then you get another job, and then you get another job, right? It's not like you're 28 at McDonald's, right? Which is not bad. Again, I'm not judging nobody, right? But to me, it's like, stop bitching.
You can be 28 and be a branch manager, right? Or you can be 38 and be a executive producer of McDonald's headquarters somewhere, right? There's a different level to McDonald's, and there's a different level for everything,
right?
So it just depends on what level you're on. And you can be 34 working at McDonald's, but what's the plan for the future?
Right.
Right. So it's always like, what is your plan for doing better for yourself and better for your family and your community?
Yourself. It has to be yourself first.
Yeah, it has to be yourself first. But some people argue, like, why do all that, right? Why not just take a chill? Like, you have enough for your bills, you have enough for everything. Just relax and just enjoy life, enjoy the sunset.
And that's okay.
Right.
To me,
right,
again,
that's okay, right?
To me,
just rule number one: don't complain.
Don't complain. That's the biggest thing. So, like, my buddy Joey, he's always
that's
like
freedom of expression,
right? My buddy Joey's always like, Ray, you need a 6-pack. You need a 6-pack. Stop eating your shit. Stop eating that. Stop eating this. I'm like, Joey, I'm fine. No, you're not. No, you're not. I was like, I don't complain about it. And if I complain about it, I'll do something about it, right? So, when there's a time where I'm like, damn, I do feel fat. Let me go do it, and then I do it, right? But that's the biggest thing, is don't complain. If you live that simple, chilled life, you're paying your bills, you're chilling, you're at your mom's house, whatever, cool. But don't complain.
But yeah, the problem is that life isn't gonna wait for you.
Oh no, definitely not.
Like, life isn't gonna wait for you. Let's say you live that kosher life. I say kosher, but that's probably the wrong word to use.
Kosher, isn't that food that Jews eat?
Yeah, so that's probably the wrong word.
Why did I say Jews? Anybody can eat that. See, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get canceled.
No, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So you live that chill lifestyle. You chill that lifestyle.
Right.
Bills are still coming your way.
Keep going. I'm listening.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to show you, like, this angle.
What's wrong with that angle?
No, hold on. It's about to switch. Sorry, guys. This is live. I just want to show him.
What about it?
It's like very long.
Oh yeah, I could.
Made yourself look thin, and you made me look fat. I don't like that. I'm complaining right now. Damn it.
So, life is not gonna wait for you, right?
At all.
Like high school, you have pressure, right? After high school, you have pressure to go to college or do something with your life. Okay, you don't want to do nothing. That's fine. How are you gonna make money? Okay. How are you gonna get out of your parents' house? Okay, maybe you don't. But what happens when they die? What are you gonna do? Okay, so they die, right? And you're still living that kosher life, that chill life, right? Then health problems come. What are you gonna do about that? Right? You've lived and you ate whatever you want. What are you gonna do about that? Oh, you don't want kids? Okay, that's fine. Well, you're gonna be lonely from 50 to 80, 30 years of your life. You're gonna be by yourself. Okay, what are you gonna do about that? Right? Or you want a girlfriend? That's fine. But what if she wants kids? Right? Okay, you have kids now. Now you have that pressure. Oh, now you have to be a dad, but you don't want that. But now you have to.
Right.
Oh, you don't want kids? Then that's fine. Then she leaves you. Now you're lonely. What are you gonna do about that?
But all that to me is fine.
You
can live that life as long as you don't complain and bitch.
Right. You can live that life, but like what I'm saying is like
you're not hurting me.
Right. But the problems are gonna come to you.
Correct, and that's your decision.
Right.
So it's once you start complaining, man, I don't have money. Well, I don't have money. It's your fault. It's that guy's fault. It's Ray's fault. It's their fault.
My wife left me. My kids left me. My kids hate me.
Exactly.
I'm fat. I'm overweight. I'm unhealthy.
Right.
It's like, yeah, well,
that's you.
You know, life happened, and you didn't take it. You didn't grab it by the horns.
Correct.
Yeah, you just hopped on and just.
You didn't control your Like another thing is controlling your emotions.
That's the stoicism. That's another thing.
That's a who?
Stoicism.
Who's that guy? Is that a person?
Yeah, it's a philosopher.
Oh, okay.
That started the. I don't know if it's a philosopher, but I know it's a philosophy called Stoicism, which is everything that happens to you in reality happens. Mm-hmm. You take it in, and you decide what to do based on the events that happen to you, and the emotions. You don't act on the emotions. Mm-hmm. But you act on what is the best solution, or if there is a solution, or if there's not a solution. But you don't let emotions dictate your behaviors, even though we do.
We do, and I don't.
So you don't buy things.
Perfect.
You don't buy things or do things based on emotion, right? Like
kind of. I mean, yes, to an extent, right? But it's something like who did I say that to yesterday or the day before? It was like. It might not even be close to what you're talking about, but it was almost to the point where it was like,
we have 0 viewers.
Oh, it goes up and down. Oh. Yeah, it was to the point where it was like, people are not against you, right? People are not against you. People are not out to get you, in my opinion, right? No one's out to get you. No, and two is when you die, like this is my concept recently that I just kind of made up myself. I think, or I heard it somewhere probably.
If you made it up yourself, I'm gonna be very impressed.
So the thing is, like, to me, and I've kind of always lived this way, where it's like, if I die tomorrow, right, my wife's gonna be sad, my mom, my son, my daughter, for a day, for a week, for a month.
6 months is the morning,
right? For a little bit, my close friends, you, Jesse, them, you'll be sad for a little bit, like, oh shit, damn, that's crazy. You're gonna go to work tomorrow.
Yep, life goes on.
Yeah, you're gonna go to work tomorrow. You're gonna be good. Oh, remember Ray? And then after that 6 months period, a year goes by. People remember you every year on that date. Damn, it's crazy. Post a few pictures about you. That's cool. Damn, that's crazy. Pobrecito. Life is still going on, right? So when I learned that concept, I was like, why am I so beat? Well, I never was letting people get to me, but I'm like, this is why I don't let people get to me. This is why I don't care about what you think about me, right? Because I'm gone tomorrow, and who cares? Why am I going to sit here and beat myself up or what you think about me, what they think about me, what I didn't do, what I did do, what was right, what was wrong? It's my life, right? And I think when people get to realize that, I think that should change their mentality a little bit more. Like the people that are going to cry the most is going to be my wife, the kids, my mom. So that's who I should care more about. Do I let them their thoughts and their opinions of me run my life? Not as much, but I do take it into accountability, right? I do.
It does matter.
It does matter to an extent to me, right? With you, Jesse, and Suniga, and
your close friends.
I don't have no friends. But to what they think, it matters even less,
right?
And then anybody else out there, not even, but to me, it's me worrying about what so-and-so is going to say about me that went to school with me and I was in a class in freshman year. Why am I worried about that? Why am I worried about a customer that came in and said, man, your store looks horrible? Okay, cool. Like, why sit there and get beat up about it? Right. Why sit there and worry about what I'm wearing? Like, you look different. That doesn't look okay.
Right.
So I think
that comes with maturity. That's hard to achieve at a young age. But what
makes it hard?
At a young age? It's at a young age.
It's at a young age?
Yeah.
Because I think maybe what I went through when I was alone for a while
homeless. You think old people care about social media?
No.
You think they care about what other people
think? They don't care in general.
They don't care about
I'm going to be that old man that's walking around naked at the gym after just changing, and I forgot my stuff in the other side, and I'm going to walk. And I would do that now, right?
But why not?
But I care what people think.
Right.
Damn it. I just lied to myself. No, I mean, I do things now. Like some of the stuff I do on my stories or...
I care what people think.
That's not good, amigo.
But look.
All right. Your turn. Switch the camera.
I care what you think. I care what society thinks. Wait, let me. Like, I don't want to inconvenience you
Mm-hmm.
because I care about you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I care that you don't feel a certain way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have compassion about what you
Compassion. Okay.
and your emotions, right?
Mhm.
I'm not going to walk around naked. How's that going to make you feel? Right?
Why does it matter how I feel?
Because I have compassion over you. Like, I care about your feelings. Like I care about how you as a human being is affected by how I act,
Okay, so let me put this into.
right?
Let me see. Your car, right? I'm electric. I'm against fossil fuels. It hurts my feelings.
It's not
You're
gonna
gonna,
hurt your feelings.
well, whatever. It's like,
That's not
let me see.
that's not that's
I gotta
not
put it
it.
into a better. But see, to me,
Right? You
I
can
get what you're
give it.
saying.
You can get
Uh,
examples
I think we're
of
you're being respectful.
right. I'm respectful towards your humanity.
But how do you know my humanity unless I tell you?
I don't.
How do you not
I
know
just
I
know it
want to
from
see
your
you walk around naked?
I just know it from your perspective and from the social norms.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, sí sabes.
Like,
You're very smart.
some
Luis.
things I don't care about. Like, I'm not gonna wipe my bench because
That's dirty.
I don't think I'm dirty,
That's
right?
dirty. I went to this gym over here. I'm
But
not
if
gonna
I'm
say.
super sweaty, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
wipe it.
Yeah, I went to this gym
Like,
and I told the guy, y'all don't wipe the stuff. Like, nah, bro. I'm like, what? Why? He's like, bro, you just sweated all over it.
right.
I was like, all right, well,
There's a level of courtesy that.
But nobody in the gym. Well, I don't want
Oh.
to say nobody, right? But most of the people I was watching working out, like, what the hell's going on here?
So I think there's a difference, and I'm learning about constructed social norms, right? And about things that you do based on societal norms, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's unspoken rules.
right.
Like,
Okay.
Like, you walk into the gym, you nod to a dude, you're like, hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Or you say hi, or you're like, hey, you're using there's social. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Right, and then when you're driving, any aspect, office, work, at home, anywhere, there's social things that you've constructed.
Right.
That it's unspoken because we all live together and we all have to coexist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We just finished each other's word. That's pretty hot.
Yeah, so not that I'm learning to do that because I've done it my whole life.
Right.
But it's like, and then some people are like, well, I challenge those. It's like you're challenging thousands of years of human interaction.
Correct.
Some stuff you can challenge, like certain things you're like, well, like I don't have to wear I don't have to wear a button up. I don't have to wear a polo for work. Like, I don't have to work the traditional 9 to 5. I can be an entrepreneur. Right? Like, those things, I believe in challenging the status quo.
Yes.
I believe in
100%.
that 100%. But there's traditions and norms established throughout hundreds and thousands of years that I respect and that I admire, and I'm like, oh wow, like I want to do those things.
Makes sense. Okay, I guess I agree with everything you said, but I guess
besides we're done.
No, besides that, F everything else. And that's what I tell my kids. That's what I tell my daughter. That's what I tell everybody.
Right, but that comes with maturity and understanding how society works.
Correct. So like I tell my son,
a kid that is like freaking out about tests and about this girl gave me the wrong look and I have backpack on and that's pink and it should be light pink and I have Ninja Turtle shoes and I shouldn't wear them because they're gonna make fun of me.
Right.
That's everything.
And
that's important, and that's what I'm learning about, and that's what I've learned about kids, not just now, but as I've grown up, is that these things that kids think are most important, they are the most important things.
Right.
Like football, that's the most important thing.
Correct.
And you're like, man, I don't care about football. Right. I don't care about this. But to them, that's like that's their whole life.
Right.
Right. And it's like, as a parent, like it's important to care about that and be like, okay, you care about this, like let's care about it.
Right.
And
I think it's a very good way of putting it.
and I think even like, oh, you care about these weird looking boxes with plastic inside of
They're
them.
called pops, sir. That's disrespectful. They're called pops, and I care a lot about them.
Yeah. So me as a human being, I'd be like, okay, tell me about that. I'm interested. Like,
Right.
why do you care about them?
Correct.
You know, it's interesting to see another person's interest and be like, okay, you know, and that is
I
being
just think they're cool.
why.
I don't know.
I
They're
think
pretty interesting. I just think the fact that they're able to put a cartoon or a character into a mini size and they're all the same size and they all have a real little body and a big head like me, that's crazy.
so you identify with these little kids.
I think so. They're little with the big head. That's probably it.
And they're valuable.
And they're
just like
valuable. I
you.
think the main thing is valuable. They
Mm.
mean something.
right. They're
to
collectibles,
somebody.
right?
I mean
and that's
something to
interesting.
somebody.
And that's interesting because that yeah, that is interesting.
Very.
And that's it.
I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's it for today. I think this is a real good episode. I like your idea about the daily. I'm down for the daily. Well, I really
What did I say? Sorry.
the daily, doing a daily podcast real
Oh, like
quick.
a morning show.
Morning show. I think that'd be cool. But what I really want to do, and anybody out there, well, I'm gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge you. I probably am. But I really want to have like a more. I love this environment. I love business. I love talking about like big things like this. But I also want to have like a chilled, mellow,
But
like-
kind of like what we had today, where it was
more chilled and more mellow, more cuss words.
No, remember cussing? What cussing means?
Oh, true. Dang it. Stop bitching though, and complaining. Okay, I'll just start
you
using
can say
complaining.
complaining. Start griping. Stop
Griping.
complaining. That's griping.
Well, what I mean is,
Stop being weak.
el video que mandó Jesse. Yeah, definitely stop being weak. El video que mandó Jesse con Joe Rogan y sus otros amigos.
Right, but they're
Así.
comedians.
I'm a-
and
hey,
they're
I'm a comedian.
unfiltered comedians.
I'm a comedian.
You're
I
not-
consider my. I'm gonna do stand up one day too. That's on my list. But anyways, yeah, I want to have more like no, I don't
But
know.
you can do that, but without being vulgar. You don't have to be vulgar,
Vulgar gets people's attention.
but not the right attention.
Their right attention, what they've been through.
Right,
It
but it
just
doesn't
trigger
have to
words.
be vulgar.
No, it doesn't. No, just more mellow,
Right,
more a little bit more throwback.
that's cool.
Not too professional with a shirt like this, or like that.
This is my casual shirt.
That's not casual at all.
It doesn't have buttons. It's it's
I'm looking at 4 buttons right there.
Untucked, meaning it doesn't have pockets.
You need it a little bit tighter on you. Like you gotta
I
show
like
your
it,
gains.
I like it loose because it hides the gains, and then
Hey, some of the viewers.
bam.
Well, we don't have to talk about what the viewers say. I don't have
You
biceps.
seen those episodes where they go like this and like, oh, he doesn't have anything, and then
Oh yeah, those are. You watch too much social media, sir.
I do. I need to stop.
So, see, like I said yesterday, I put my phone upside down now, face down, because we talked about this one time. Once that light comes on, the thing that pops in your head,
Dopamine.
yeah, dopamine. They were like somebody wants to talk to me. Somebody
Right.
said something like,
Mm.
and I
Mm.
think it comes with everybody. But again, it's just like that was really loud.
Yeah, that was loud.
All right,
guys.
Well, thanks everybody stop by today. Hopefully you guys learned something from our life 2 hacks that we put in here.
2 hacks.
Next week,
We'll see who we bring.
we see who we bring. If you're interested in coming in here, what are our guidelines? What are we looking for?
We are looking for individuals who are passionate about life and who want to better themselves. And even if you're not at your best self, but you have a plan, that's enough.
It's good enough. See, simple, easy. You guys have a good Thursday. Thanks for everybody to stop by. Do we have a piece? Do we have a way to say bye? Or we
Yep.
just say thank you like that? Thank you for watching.